Casey's Audio Vault.
Brad Shultz from Cage the Elephant, June 15th, 2011.
Hey, Casey, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm great. Sitting at home.
You're at home?
Yeah, the rest of the band is in Europe. I had some family stuff that came up that I had to fly back. So I'm back home for just a few days, and then I fly in to Amsterdam, and then I do Amsterdam and Glastonbury. Then we jump on the Black Keys.
So do they have someone filling in for you?
Yeah, actually, I had to teach my parts to our producer, Jay Joyce. He came in, because I couldn't think of anybody. I was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And it was definitely a situation that I had to come home for. And the band never played without me. It was just so funny. I mean, it was an awkward situation. I called up Jay because he was probably the closest person to the band, to all of us, and he said yeah. And so we taught him the parts, and we went out and did it.
Are you at liberty of saying what brings you back home?
It's family. It's health issues in the family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's some serious stuff, and so it's with my wife's family, and so I had to be there for my wife.
So do you get home very often? It seems like there's just one tour after the next.
Yeah, we do a lot of touring, but we enjoy it, and so you could do that or be sitting in Bowling Green right now, right? But time off is definitely precious, but we definitely like to be on the road as well.
Do you usually get pretty good food on the road?
Yeah, unless we're in England. One of our favorite Canadian things is poutine, right?
Oh yeah, we got that.
Yeah, we had never had that before. We one of our first major tours that we did was with Queens of the Stone Age in Canada. We started in Toronto and went all the way to Vancouver, and we discovered that, and I think we might have eaten it every day that we were there.
Yeah, we love gravy. Gravy on fries, gravy on anything. We love it.
Gravy is good.
Well, you guys, it was also just announced that you're doing, after the Black Keys tour, you're doing the Foo Fighters tour, and their backstage rider was leaked today, mostly talking about what kind of foods they like and don't like backstage. Oh,
really?
So is there anything
anything that we don't like or do like?
Right.
We get our fair share of beer. We used to ask for a board game every time. I think we just did that. It's interesting to see what people get for you. And pretty much normal stuff. Lunch meat, bread, cheese, nothing really extravagant or exciting.
You guys did that K-Rock weenie roast a couple weeks ago. Is that a lot of hot dogs they feed you?
I actually didn't eat a hot dog at all. That's kind of a bummer now that you mentioned. Next time we do that show, I'm going to have a hot dog there. The funny thing is that's when we actually met Dave Grohl, and that's probably what led us to getting the Foo Fighters tour. Dave saw our last two songs at the K-Rock weenie roast, and afterwards he came up to some of us, and he was like, oh, yeah, I like those last two songs. Like, we have to do some shows together. And you hear that from bands, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And, I think we kind of went away, and we were like, oh, man, that would be awesome if Dave Grohl really did take us on tour. And, he followed through with what he said. when it came through, we were like, oh, my God. We're going to be touring with the Foo Fighters.
That must have been a pretty quick turnaround because that's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what because even though we figured he saw our band once. He might he liked those songs that he heard. But how many bands have Dave Grohl seen over his career? And we figured he was just, being nice guy, being really nice to us and just saying, oh, great show. And then one of our record label people came up to and he was like, Dave's only said that to about 4 or 5 bands that I know of, and he's taken all the bands on tour that he's done. And so we were like, oh my God, maybe we will get the tour. And then, like a week and a half later, we get the email, and we were like literally jumping up and down with excitement. I was calling everybody on my phone. I was like, guess what?
We were talking to Rise Against, who did the same weenie roast, and they were saying that all the musicians and stuff were staying in the same hotel as a convention for furries.
Oh, God.
Did you see some of these people in their animal costumes?
I did not attend the furry convention, but our monitor engineer, Jared, our drummer, our bass player, Daniel Titchener, our guitar tech, they all went to the furry convention, and they had several pictures, and it was pretty funny and creepy at the same time. Sorry if anybody's a furry that's listening, but...
I think it's pretty well accepted that it's slightly creepy to dress up like a bunny and have sex with a deer or whatever kind of animal you like.
Yeah, something isn't totally normal about that. We all have our weird tics, don't we?
With the Foo Fighters tour happening so quickly after the Black Keys tour, you're actually going to be ending up hitting the same cities next month that you are in the fall.
Oh, really? I haven't even put 2 and 2 together, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of wondering if with all this touring, do the cities just kind of blur together?
No, I mean, I think not really, because, we've been to a lot of the cities anyways before, so we're a band that, there's a lot of bands that just sit on the tour bus, and we're a band that kind of likes to get out. We were from Bowling Green, Kentucky. We hadn't experienced a lot until we were, touring in this band, so we kind of find each little thing that we like about each city, and I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, this city has the best wings, this city has great crowds, it's whatever. But we usually keep in mind of, we remember all the cities, and there's always certain little things that we like about each city.
Well, Brad, I appreciate you giving us a quick phone call while you're at home and the boys are on the road. The Cage the Elephant coming through Winnipeg with the Black Keys just a couple Saturdays from now at MTS Center. Brad, have yourself a good afternoon.
Winnipeg. Wait, I got to tell you one thing about Winnipeg. We stayed in a hotel. This will be a proof that we do know a little bit about it. We stayed in a hotel that not only had a slide inside it was like this gigantic water slide into the pool, but there was a strip club located underneath our hotel.
So you got something for the children and something for the pervs as well.
Exactly.
All right, Brad, thanks for the story. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you so much for having me, man.
All the interviews you want on iTunes and at Power97.com. Casey's Audio Vault.
Casey Norman is Power 97's music director and can be heard every weekday from 2 till 6 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Power 97 is Winnipeg's best rock.